Hi, everybody. Welcome to Wind Creek State Park on beautiful Lake Martin. I'm Robbie Floyd, joined by the Alabama Bass Trail's Cade Donaldson and the Alabama Bass Trail presented by Phoenix Boats. We come to another tremendous venue here on the south. Now it's Lake Martin, known for its fish numbers. We're going to see a lot of fish catching out there today, but not necessarily the 25 and 30-pound bags that we've seen at the other stops.
What you would normally think is the guys would be upset about that they want to weigh in those 25-pound bags, but realistically, this being the middle of the season, it's about points, and they're going to want to weigh in 5 fish, and the heaviest 5 that they can weigh. So I still think you're going to see a lot of numbers come across the stage today, and I think Lake Martin is going to show that it does have a large, popular, spotted bass and largemouth bass.
But the thing is consistency to win the Alabama Bass Trail South Division, and nobody's been more consistent than our points leaders. 2 top 5s in their first 2 ever events.
You know, it's kind of neat to see 2 guys that are fishing our trail for the very first time and have a 5th place finish in their first tournament, and then a big win on their home lake, Lake Eufaula. I think you've certainly got to watch them, but keep in mind, there's only 39 points from 9th to 1st. So there could be some big shakeups today in the points.
And keep in mind, there's over 200 boats trying to knock them out of that leader's seat.
Hey guys, here we are, Alabama Bass Trail South stop number 3, beautiful Lake Martin. Here with Kenneth Grover. A balmy 37 degrees this morning, 1st of April.
Yes.
And as you can see, the sun's coming up, got a little fog on the water. What's your take this morning on what's going to happen today?
Well, it is cold this morning, but it's supposed to warm up, a little bit. It's not going to be real warm, but it's supposed to be 70 by, later on this afternoon. So good sunshine. The wind's not supposed to blow, so that will help these guys.
Let me get this right. It's an Alabama Bass Trail tournament, and the wind's not going to blow?
Well, it's not supposed to blow.
You never know what can happen, right? That's right. So is this going to be an early morning bite now with the sun coming up like it is, or is it going to be a later in the day deal?
Well, this time of year, I expect guys to potentially get bit all day long, but I think it's going to take different techniques.
Sure.
What they'll start off with in the morning, they'll have to change once the day warms up and the water warms up. This afternoon will be a completely different bite.
Well, we had some pretty good storms come through on Wednesday of this week, and it's kind of messed temperatures up a little bit, water's up a little bit. Is that going to play a role, being 3 days after that little deal? Is this going to play a role in this, you think?
Well, I think the biggest factor that the fishermen are facing is we're kind of in all 3 phases of the spawn. There's still some pre-spawn, there's spawning fish, and there's post-spawn.
Right.
The cold front may have affected the spawning fish, the actual fish that are wanting to create the beds, get on the beds. It may have affected them more than any of the other 2 patterns.
Okay.
But as the day warms up this afternoon, it's potential for them to move back in and begin that as again.
All right, fantasy fishing, what's it going to take to win this thing?
I think it's going to take 18 and a half pounds.
18 and a half. I'm going to go 19 even. How's that?
Sounds good.
Let's go.
Watch out. Big boat slip. Big deal.
So Kenneth, we're still within the slide of the ramp here at Wind Creek State Park, and we've come across one team already here fishing pretty shallow. And last year we were here mid-February for the first stop for the south, and it was 1 in this creek. What is this the place to be today, or is this going to be another deal?
Well, this is always a popular place to fish on this lake. A lot of that is, like I said, we're right outside of Wind Creek State Park. All the major tournaments on this lake are held out of Wind Creek State Park. So it gets replenished pretty frequently, but the fish really have everything they need here. These guys are kind of following the creek channel along the bank here. There's a lot of, there's chunk rock, there's also a lot of laydowns and stumps mixed in. So there's always concentration of fish in this area. It's also kind of an area where they can kind of move in if they're looking to spawn or as they're moving out as well.
Gotcha. It's a pretty big pocket here, pretty big area.
Yeah, yes it is.
And so, yeah, I don't know if you call them retreads so much as there's probably so many that have come in and gone through here. But.
Yeah, a lot of fish do live here. this area gets fished quite a bit during tournaments as well. So, you know, the ones that are getting caught, they're getting released back in here. Like I said, there's bait fish, there's the habitats, everything they need to live right here.
I know the few times I've been here to fish, you know, you run up some of these creek pockets and some of these creeks. I mean, you can go a pretty good ways, and a lot of neat looking scenery. Probably one of the more scenic lakes we visit.
It really is. And it looks, as you go down the lake, it takes on different looks as well.
It does, yeah, you're right.
It's pretty unique.
Well, airtime.
Alabama Bass Trail TV, presented by Phoenix Boats, is brought to you by Bill Penny Toyota, official truck of the Alabama Bass Trail, and by Wind Creek Casino, where you can have your winning moments. There's more to come.
Greg Hackney, 2014 Bassmaster Angler of the Year. Aaron Martins, 2013 and 2015 Bassmaster Angler of the Year. What else do these guys have in common? Phoenix Boats. The last 3 Bassmaster Angler of the Year titles were won out of Phoenix Boats. Coincidence? We think not. Phoenix Boats. Our passion for fishing is obvious.
So our mission statement here at Bill Penny Motor Company is to enrich the lives of our employees and our customers and the communities we serve. And it really begins and ends with people. It started with that kind of philosophy with my granddad and went through my dad. Growing up around the business, I remember being just a kid washing cars and meeting these customers. Now I'm a grown adult and they get to buy vehicles from us and hopefully serve their next of kin for generations to come. For the whole story, visit us at BillPennyToyota.com, where people always come first.
Lights are dazzling, shining bright. The busy hum permeates the air. It's electric. With a dash of spice, you kick up the heat until you're spinning, twirling on your feet. Sweat it out. The thrill of the game, the high of the night. The sizzle of temptation, the intoxication of sensation, and just like that, it's another ending to your glorious, hot Alabama nights. Wind Creek Casino and Hotel in Montgomery or Wetumpka. Find your winning moment.
Let's get down to business. Quiet, you sons of fishes. Now, what?
I'm switching sonar.
Why?
Because now I can see fish swimming live in front of my boat. I even see fish attack my lure. Y'all's sonar is just history. I'm out.
I'm with him.
You witnessed the action, the thrill, and the competition of the Alabama Bass Trail. Isn't it time you got involved? Coming in 2018, over $47,000 paid out for each event. No entry fee championship, $85,000 up for grabs, plus a new Phoenix. More than $500,000 in cash and prizes. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Sign up now by logging on to alabamabasstrail.org. The Alabama Bass Trail Tournament Series, presented by Phoenix Bass Boats.
It's funny the number of big fish all across the country that are caught on the smallest baits.
Right.
My biggest personal best is around 10 pounds, and it came on an 1/8 ounce buzz bait, just a little bitty buzz bait. And all you're trying to do is just get a bite.
Right.
And so it's funny. Big baits do catch big fish, but you'd be surprised at how many you catch on little baits as well.
Well, you know, big bass gets big for a reason. They don't work real hard for their food. And if you put the right type of small bait close enough to them in the right time, they're going to eat it.
Sure. Got him.
All right, on that one, he gave the fish extra time, but it was just a little extra time. He didn't wait a long time.
He didn't get real jumpy with it.
So maybe he's kind of figured out what he needs to do, and maybe he'll keep putting them in the boat.
Back to the boat. Mr. Shaky Head back there. Hey, what are we've been on you guys for a little while. What are you keying on here, and what's your game plan?
That we were just keying on a long point that comes out here and catching them on a worm or a jig and try to get a limit and then go try to cull, try to find some bigger fish, shallow water.
You got 2 or 3 right now?
We got 4.
We got 4. Okay, you got 4.
And caught 2 throwbacks.
What are they relating to right here?
There's a couple little trash piles out here. But
yeah.
But mainly the hard bottom, and then when you hit trash, you know, that's normally when he's getting the bites. He's catching on that worm.
I was gonna say, he's kind of schooling you back there a little bit.
He is. He's letting me have it.
We're a father and son team. He just stuck me in the back and said, do the best you can.
I've been watching it. He's trying to make him eat a crankbait so bad it's about to kill him, it looks like.
Good at doing it. That's why I hope he whips me on it.
We talk about that a lot, about being a team tournament, the ability to have 2 guys doing 2 different things and
right.
Try to develop the pattern.
Right. We try to do that in practice too, because just see what you most versatile bait.
Sure.
We practiced for 2 days, hadn't caught a thing on a worm, pull right here and catch 4. So.
This portion of the program is sponsored in part by Sweet Home Alabama, by Garmin, and by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Alabama Bass Trail TV, presented by Phoenix Boats, will be right back.
Hey, you know Progressive is America's #1 motorcycle insurer.
Yeah, she does, purr. Best bike I ever owned.
No, you're never alone, because our claims reps are available 24/7. We even cover accessories and custom parts.
We did get an early start. Took the kids to soccer practice.
You want me to jump that cactus? All right.
That lady's awesome. I don't see a possum.
It's time to take a road trip.
Alabama's got 100 road trips, and some of the best are outdoors, like a trip to Lake Gunnersville. First stop on the Alabama Bass Trail. Catch anything? Nice. Or head to the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail. 468 holes of golf heaven. What's the time say?
Best public golf on the planet.
Alabama's got 100 road trips. Plan yours at alabama.travel.
Which one you gonna take?
We're going to get back out on the water soon to follow the action, but right now we'd like to thank our host, the Alexander City Chamber of Commerce, for being our host for this week's tournament. Most of you may know a singer by the name of Hank Williams Sr. He was here writing a song about an Indian who had a heart made of knotty pine, who fell in love with an Indian maiden named Kalijah. While he was writing the song, the ground was being broken for the Kalijah restaurant. And while you're at Lake Martin, please stop by and visit them. They have great hush puppies, catfish, and a very full menu of lots of items that you'll enjoy, and the backdrop just can't be beat with Lake Martin. Another great attraction is Wind Creek State Park. Over 1,400 acres of things to do, over 500 campsites for you and your family to visit. With hiking trails and boat rentals, there's so many things to do in the outdoors at one of Alabama's state parks. Visit Wind Creek State Park when you're in Alexander City. Now let's get back to the action out on Lake Martin. Fishing.
In the mouth.
Kenneth, in your opinion, for a new team that's come down here to fish for the first time, or maybe a team that's only been here a time or two, these guys they've had some success. They've got a small limit, but you heard me mention about all of this back here, this cover that looked good. How easy is it to get caught up in something that has nothing to do with what's going on today?
It can happen real easy. Like I said, there are so many little cuts and pockets, and they all look the same. They all look good. Without spending a little bit of time and figuring out maybe which ones are productive and which ones aren't, it's really kind of hard to just in one day run around and try to hit some.
So you would think some of these boat ramps transition off these seawalls and some of those areas would hold some fish in this, and you know, in this type of weather with the cold front, they're going to warm up faster. But you were saying about
if it's a place that gets, you know, where they launch their boats frequently, when you're loading your boat onto the trailer, you get prop wash, and it actually digs out a bit of a hole.
Sure.
So that, you know, speaking of the Gulf Run, that's kind of a little bit of a deeper area, and Gulf Run doesn't take much.
Yeah.
You know, 1 or 2 foot drop is enough difference for them to kind of drop into it, and then as soon as it warms up, they go back to where they want to go.
Alabama Bass Trail TV, presented by Phoenix Boats, brought to you by Bill Penny Toyota, Sweet Home Alabama, Wind Creek Casino, and by Garmin. There's more to come.
Let's get down to business. Quiet, you sons of fishes. Now, what?
I'm switching sonar.
Why?
Because now I can see fish swimming live in front of my boat. I even see fish attack my lure. Y'all's sonar's just history. I'm out.
I'm with him.
Greg Hackney, 2014 Bassmaster Angler of the Year. Aaron Martins, 2013 and 2015 Bassmaster Angler of the Year. What else do these guys have in common? Phoenix Boats. The last 3 Bassmaster Angler of the Year titles were won out of Phoenix Boats. Coincidence? We think not. Phoenix Boats. Our passion for fishing is obvious.
So our mission statement here at Bill Penny Motor Company is to enrich the lives of our employees and our customers and the communities we serve. And it really begins and ends with people. It started with that kind of philosophy with my granddad and went through my dad. Growing up around the business, I remember being just a kid washing cars and meeting these customers. Now I'm a grown adult and they get to buy vehicles from us and hopefully serve their next of kin for generations to come. For the whole story, visit us at BillPennyToyota.com, where people always come first.
Lights are dazzling, shining bright. The busy hum permeates the air. It's electric. With a dash of spice, you kick up the heat until you're spinning, twirling on your feet. Sweat it out. The thrill of the game, the high of the night. The sizzle of temptation, the intoxication of sensation, and just like that, it's another ending to your glorious, hot Alabama nights. Wind Creek Casino and Hotel in Montgomery or Wetumpka. Find your winning moment.
Are you done yet?
Does it look like I'm done?
Shouldn't you be at work?
Todd. Hold on.
Your real bike's all fixed.
Man, you guys are good.
Well, we are the #1 motorcycle insurer in the country.
Wait, you have a real motorcycle?
And real insurance with 24-hour customer support.
Well, I retire as champion.
Game hog.
Champion.
They're the meanest little spot I've ever seen. That ain't the biggest one. It is. No, that's the first one. No, it's the biggest one.
Clay, it's time to make our predictions as we get ready for another stop. What's it going to take to win? Because we have a little side bet each time, and I think you've got me 2-1. No, and we tied now.
We're tied. We're
tied going into the fifth. So what's it going to take to win here today?
21.85.
Great googly moogly. 21.85. You jumped me because I was saying 1776 would be what it would take. Because it took.
That's a good year.
It was a great year for our country. How about a round of applause for them? They're leading right now with over 13 pounds. Let's find out what you got. You're going to move up the leaderboard right now. 11:56, a pretty decent day.
Yeah, it was a pretty good day.
What were you doing? What were you throwing?
We was throwing jerk bait most of the day.
Jerking all throughout the day?
Yes.
Yep, you take it. Looks like 345. 345 is going to be our new big bass. Thank you, sir. Thank you, guys. Matt Green, Justin Nunley, 5 bass for $14.74. They take over the lead. This could be a $10,000 day for you. How does that feel?
Feels pretty good.
And it could be an extra a little bit too. It looks like your big bass. Is that the big bass? Big bass is 440, and that took over our lead for the big bass. Victor Harbor, Blake Harbor, 553. Our big bass. Who caught it? What'd you catch it on?
I caught it on a crankbait, and it's funny because
really,
we had the camera boat come and video us for a while this morning, and he's wearing me out of the back of a boat, just throwing a little worm, you know. The guy, the commentator said, you know, you're trying your best to get him to hit that crankbait, aren't you? And I said, yeah, they just don't want it. But evidently I found one that wanted it.
Oh, yeah, well, that's a good. I love that. They're trying to decide which one they're going to wait for big fish. Oh, they got big weight. What do they have? They need 1474 to take the lead. They did it, 1549. A lot of guys were looking over there on low weights, but when you said, I got to figure out which one to weigh for big fish, I know it was good things. When did you know you were going to have a good day?
About 2 o'clock.
So rather late.
That's right. We got on some bedding fish in a flat and caught them on top water.
Well, Lake Martin was everything we expected it to be. We knew there would be a ton of fish caught, and they did. They caught over 1,000 bass here on Lake Martin, but catching the big ones was tough, except for the winning team. Team Schroeder comes on strong.
You know, that's what we heard all day long is people were getting lots of bites, 20 to 40 bites a day, but they just couldn't find that quality fish, that 3, 4, 5 pound kicker fish. We kind of knew that was going to play in. I don't know if we're just a little bit ahead of the spawn.
It's all over the place. I'll tell you that. Let's bring in our winners here now. And congratulations to you because you had a game plan. You had a later flight coming in, boat 170 something, but the morning didn't really work and you turned it on in the afternoon. That's what it took.
That's right. That's right. We knew where those fish were, and like I said, and we waited for the sun to give up. We went spot fishing right off the bat and caught a few smaller spots and ended up culling everything we had in that one flat. So.
Well, congratulations. We'll see how you do at Cooter Spawn because you need to build off that momentum, but a $10,000 check has to feel good in the back pocket. Well, okay, we'll leave here at Lake Martin on the south and move back up to the north. I expect big things out of Smith Lake, especially if the spawn's starting to come on. These fish are going to be all over the place. Will it be pre-spawn? Will it be post-spawn? Will it be the spawn that wins there?
You know, it's going to be a lot different because you've got those blueback herring in Smith Lake. But just like Martin, it's a deep, clear lake, so things are going to be shaken up, especially in the north because we've been on that Tennessee River for 2 tournaments. Things are going to really be different in the north.
Things are always exciting at Smith Lake, and you can watch it here on Fox Sports Southeast.